is MSR Now, the live show covering everything the MSR, NFL, and Madden communities have to offer. Access to all 32 teams and users like you've never seen them before. Hosted by Muck.
What the fuck is that?
And yours truly.
Please kneel the fuck out of this game, coach.
Oh, and the best part? Monday nights are for MSR Now, 8 p.m. Eastern at twitch.tv/paintrain, and stream highlights the very next day, only on the MSR Network. Where else would you rather be? MSR and Madden communities lock in. It's Monday night, and it's MSR Now. It is episode 2. We are back. I thought, all the naysayers out there, we can't be consistent with the show, this and that. Well, here we are, week 2. I mean, this is a monumental occasion, Muck. How are you doing on this fine Monday night?
Doing good, man. Yeah, I mean, it's going to be another good one. And, it's consistency. Look at that. 2 in a row. Wow.
Well, and what a night this is, because it's not just us tonight. We've got a little bit of a reunion of sorts.
Wow.
And it's getting a little chilly here in MSR Now. We might have to go over to the Tundra chat as we bring in Slip Tom. How you doing, my guy? Welcome to the show.
I'm living the dream. Y'all get to hear my voice for the first time. Not going to see my hairline for the first time.
To kick off our NFL talk, we're going to be talking about these rookies and who we think is going to make an impact this season 1. There's no time for development. You got to come in and make an impact. And Slip, I think we're going to start with you. You got a rookie for us to keep an eye on in the 2021-22 season?
Oh, yeah. Tempted to go with the Jet here just to steal a milk one, but we're going to go with the Eagle here, the Homer bias. Only one Eagle in this. But we're going to go with Milton Williams. Obviously Devontae Smith's going to make an impact, but it wouldn't be too shocking of a hot take there to put out there. But look at this dude's spider chart in case y'all don't know what he looks like. He looks like a T-Rex. He has no arms. But the dude is 99th percentile 3-cone, 99th broad jump, 99th vertical, 99th 40-yard dash, 87th bench press, so he's not just speed. This dude drew some athletic comparisons to Aaron Donald, obviously not in that tier, nowhere near that. But with this Eagles D-line, you got the vets there. You got Brendan Graham, you got Fletcher Cox, you got Ryan Kerrigan. You have all these guys to mentor him and take attention away from him. They're already playing him inside and outside in training camp, and he's supposedly looking pretty good at both. I could definitely see him being a surprise contributor, making that rotation, maybe even putting up somewhere close to 5 sacks, being aggressive. Definitely an athletic freak that if coached right by these guys could be an absolute stud.
I'm not going to lie to you. You could have completely made up that name, and I would have believed you because you came out with that information. And the entire time, I'm thinking,
recon stats and shit.
Who the hell is Milton?
Try not to be biased and talk about the Jets, but it's so hard not to because that's all I care about at the moment. Let's see. I can't do it. Michael Carter, running back that we drafted. Actually, we drafted 2 Michael Carters.
Oh, nice.
And one was a DB, one's a running back, and we meant to draft a running back in the 3rd round, and they thought we meant the corner. So they had to panic and make sure they got the right pick in. But then we drafted the other guy anyway. Yeah, classic Jeff. Michael Carter, running back. I feel like that's going to be something to watch in real life. He's probably not going to be shit in Madden. I mean, whoever gets the Jets is probably not going to use him. It's probably a 65, 68 overall, useless kind of backup. But in real life, there's no number 1 running back. Tevin Coleman got signed for a year, but he's trash. He's injured all the time. So it's up for grabs, and we'll see who comes out and performs the best in the preseason. Probably get some more touches, but it'll probably be between him and Ty Johnson, which is the guy that we carried over from last year, from Mr. Gase, Mr. Adam Gase. So
you motherfuckers are diving real deep here on these rookies. I was expecting some Devonta Zach Wilson bias, if there was any at all.
No, we already did that.
But I guess I've got to follow.
Just guaranteed.
I've got to follow suit. In that case, I'm going to talk about Alex Leatherwood. Raiders first round draft pick. Everybody said was a reach and a half. Also has that trope of being this just monster in camp, and everybody's talking about how this is going to be the next big Wyatt Teller, big Q kind of player. Time will tell, obviously, and I hate that kind of talk coming in the first camp. But I think this is more significant. Not only because of the player, but just because of the fact that Mayock's going to be on the hot seat after this year. If the Raiders don't put together a winning season,
he wasn't already.
No. Gruden's on a 10-year contract. You think they're going to get rid of Mike Mayock so quickly? There's no chance.
Well, if y'all remember, talking about reaches, the Cowboys, not to give them any credit, but back in the day when they drafted Travis Frederick, everyone was calling that a massive reach, that saying he was a second or third rounder, and he ended up being an absolute stud until he, for medical reasons, kind of flamed out. So Leatherwood could go the same route. Mayock seems to be known for going for reaches, so I don't know how much of the benefit of the doubt he gets there.
Right.
But things to keep in mind, oftentimes these teams see some things and you'd rather, similar to Madden, you see a guy you like in the draft, you want to make sure you don't miss out on him because you picked some other random dude. If you really love him and think he's going to be the difference maker, that's why you see some of these guys drop. And I'm like, why the hell did this guy drop? And then the guy ends up being a bust and nobody kind of really talks about it. Like, these guys tend to fall for reasons too. Sometimes they do. Sometimes it's for a good reason. Sometimes not. But for some reason, teams see a lot of things sometimes that we don't see in all these pro internet scouting reports.
Oh yeah.
Slip is all logical with his analysis. I'm just going to say that dude's a fucking bust, bro.
I think I'm more impressed by Slip giving some Cowboys love live.
Yeah, right? Imagine.
Right.
Very reluctantly, but I do distinctly remember that back in the day. People were hating on it. And I was like, oh, cool, maybe he'll suck. And then he ended up being a freaking mauler for like 5-6 years. And I was like, oh, great. Glad they were right on that one.
Well, here, I'll put you on the spot. You got another rookie for us?
Oh, yeah. I'll skip on the Jets one for now. I'll go with Dwayne Eskridge. He's a guy who was picked by Seattle in the second round.
Who?
Guys like this kind of get... Exactly. But he was a second round pick. And, actually, it was randomly... What made me think of him, too, was reading a fantasy article about it. Like, one thing you got to look at with a lot of this is where the draft capital that was invested in this guy. The Seahawks saw something in this dude that made him be a second rounder. And they have had a good history of getting these receivers outside the first round. I forget if Lockett was a first rounder, but he wasn't high in the first round. If he was, DK was obviously a second rounder. Those two will be able to mentor him, take the pressure off him. I think he's had either COVID or injury to start camp, but if he gets in healthy, he could year one have an impact definitely down the line. They definitely see something in him that he's got the speed, he's got kind of that gadget ability that those guys, they tend to find roles in, whether it's the jet sweeps, the return game, whatever, that as a rookie, you should be able to sit in, has Russ throwing him the ball, should have a solid impact year one.
Right. And that was something I actually wanted to bring up later in the show, but I think it is relevant to what you're saying, is similar to like this wide receiver class between, I think, Chase, Waddle, Bateman being among the biggest names there. You really, the years of just receivers and running backs coming into the league and slowly being molded and developed, I think those days are quickly coming to an end. PFF talks about this all the time. Wide receivers especially need to come in and make an impact because we see it happen on a season-to-season basis. We see guys like CD and Justin Jefferson last year who come in and make impacts year one, and how valuable that is to your team building experience. The 12th is when the trial comes out. I forked up the dough to get the MVP edition so I can just have it 3 days early.
Oh, what a nerd, dude.
I have a problem, man. I have a problem. It's just so I can play on my off day.
48 too much, dude. Come on, man.
Oh, I put 600 hours into Madden 21. I think I did.
You just wanted the 100 extra franchise points that you won't even be able to use.
No, man.
in MSR.
I want those extra mutt packs, Muck. I'm going for the 99 wheel this time.
Dude. All about the packs. Love me some packs, TJ's in the chat getting excited about that.
I think I randomly saw the pre-orders get you like coaching tree points too. I wonder how that
it's so BS. I can't wait to not use those anyways. But with Madden 22 right around the corner, what are your guys' hopes as far as this year's, not just the cycle, but the game in general? And Muck, we'll start with you.
What are my hopes? My hopes are that they get the scouting patch update in the middle of September, if not the end, and hopefully not delayed until like October. That's like my only hope right now. I feel like the additions and the changes they all feel good. I like the way the game feels. I like the way movement feels. So it's really just, that scouting update. Like, who the fuck knows what's going to happen? Whether there's a delay on their end or things shut down, or like some places shut down, some don't, and then they get affected by that. Who knows, man? But it would really suck if everything got delayed because we're not starting until that happens. So right. That'll be interesting. But that's really all I care about right now. That's all I'm looking forward to.
Slip, what are you hoping for?
Man, I really do not, as depressing as I do not have high hopes for Madden in general. They have very low bars set, and oftentimes they still fail to meet that. I think in this year, similar, just starting to see them start to actually implement and put in some of these changes they're talking about, putting in the scouting, putting in some of the coaching tree stuff, which at least the coaching tree stuff, it's like, oh yeah, they're finally putting in something from mid 2000s Maddens. I'm glad they found the technology to update that from the PS2. That I'm sure was a real struggle for them that they couldn't code.
They had to do it from scratch. Yeah.
Yeah. Where's DMs?
Yeah, they might have added 3 new scenarios. Just doing text-based scenarios. This whole engine they create that they add like 2 new ones to each year. Like that has to be one of the easier ways they could probably add things from a coding standpoint.
And they still
that would make everybody love. Like would give so much depth to the franchise mode, having so many more new scenarios. Like you're not animating, you're not doing any voicing, you're not doing any real animating. Like you're just literally doing text-based options. 2, if they're really feeling froggy, they put 3 options out there. They could just deepen that and it would add a lot. But overall, I think for this year's game, I just hope it's moderately enjoyable. Hopefully in the transition to next gen, it adds some freshness to it and spices things up a little bit more than usually the year-to-year change. It makes it enjoyable enough that people want to stay the whole year. I've seen people drop like every week, every other week from just the Madden burnout. So hopefully it can stop that a little bit.
And that's what I wanted to talk about. I think it's because that bar has been set so low, you don't need to do a ton to make people just absolutely go crazy about this game. Just compared to years past, what I'm looking for and my main hope for this year is just longevity in the game. And you kind of touched on that a little bit before, but the amount of times I read about people just being burnt out of Madden 21 in the first few months, like before even the next gen update came out, it's because the gameplay loop was just so bland. Like there was no sauce whatsoever to that, what they had put into the game. And I'm hoping that just with everything they've added between the momentum and the scouting trees or in the coaching trees and scouting, I just hope that adds enough depth to where that gameplay loop becomes more enjoyable. Because what you honestly look for, and Swami called it a sandbox, and I never thought about Madden as a sandbox type experience before that interview, but it's true. Like for me, I play a lot of offline just as much as I do within our league, and it's so important. No, dude, I'm all about it. That's all I played up until like Madden 19. I didn't get into leagues until a few years ago. I was only offline.
Yeah, that's true. But you're still playing offline now? What the fuck?
A little bit, man. A little bit here and there. Awful. But that's what you want, is you want to be able to have those offline experiences the same as online and sort of keep each game, each week, each season feeling so unique that you can call back to that. Or at least create memories where it's not just my eyes are glazing over and I'm just going to basically go on autopilot and kill the CPU like 52-14 on all Madden. Like I need something a little bit more from this year. And I think with everything they've talked about adding, so long as they deliver and so long as the live service gets kept up with, I think we're going to be in good hands this year. And they're bringing in the right people. Bringing in Swami as one of those creative directors was such a good move on their part for PR's sake. But I'm hoping they continue to get these people who just really care about the game and really want to see good gameplay out of it. I mean, that's what it all comes down to. We can talk about the features, but the gameplay needs to continue to build, and we really just need to see subtle improvements, however minute they may be. So long as we're getting them, that's fine in my book.
Dude, I need players to block, bro. I'm getting so tired of plays where I'm running upfield with the ball and like a receiver or somebody's like 5 yards in front of me just walking.
Oh, just standing.
Yeah,
just moonwalking.
But talking about our league, MSR, we have been having some discussions between the suggestions channel and otherwise about stock playbooks versus custom playbooks. And I think us three, we've all had experiences with both.
Yeah, I think I've been a pretty outspoken member of it, being the custom playbook fans. I'll do whatever. I've had success before with stocks. I've had success before with customs. I'll do whatever. But I'm of the opinion, and it's been voiced multiple times in the very well discussed suggestions.
Super organized.
Yeah.
Right?
All the threads. Yeah. No, but that I think you're going to get. Honestly, I don't think it's been an issue at MSR. Regardless, that I don't think you get some people that have more repetitive play styles than others, but at the end of the day, I think especially with the 2 play limit, you weren't really seeing someone run the same exact stuff. Like people weren't just really, you literally couldn't. And if you put in that many versions of the same thing, you wouldn't be lasting. Like, I think customs are nice, especially with the combination of the 2-play limit, because you can run a bunch of different formations. Like, instead of me having to have the fucking Philly special in the Eagles playbook, I can actually have a useful formation in play. Like, instead of having, you got to have Hail Mary trips or Hail Mary trio, whatever Taco's favorite thing is in there, just in case. But I think overall you're going to see it regardless. At least customs, if someone is willing to put the effort in, you can actually have that cool experience of feeling like you're creating your own game plan a little bit. And overall, I think it's been a good product that we've had in MSR, personally.
TJ just said in the fucking chat, hold on, I got to go up to this because that's why I was smiling before. What did he say, man? Here we go with this. They want us to put the controller down and watch the CPU play with stocks. Is that TJ or is that Hop? Because that sounds like some Hop shit to say when Hop's complaining about a bear or somebody running the ball against him. It's fine, bro. It doesn't matter. You're still calling plays. You're still playing the fucking game. There's definitely a way to implement it, and everyone can get along with it. It's just people are so against it without even wanting to try, and they have these strong opinions against it, but with no basis at all. I mean, like, what is that? You're telling me if you're gonna call and use a stock playbook, you're not actually playing Madden? The CPU is playing for you? Are you serious? Taco fucking uses Ask Madden every goddamn play. Is he playing or is Madden playing for him? What the fuck? It's still up to you, man. You're calling the plays. I don't know, man. I'm all for stocks. I feel like it's really good.
Really game-breaking, RPO-heavy playbook that Kylo's gonna run.
Is that a fucking cat? Oh, you got a cat and a dog. All right, okay.
We got.
Dude, he just creeped up out of nowhere, bro. Like
That'd be a cameo.
side of the shoulder. He just stretched out and popped out of there.
So
Okay.
you used customs this cycle, right, Slip?
Yeah, I've used customs this one and last one. I think with stocks, yeah, you're gonna have people like you, Payne, like that will choose it off of more genuine reasons. But I think you'll have a lot more people that know the playbooks that are historically good. The playbook, whatever playbooks end up being the good ones this year again, they'll probably have. I would guess anywhere from 5 to 10 playbooks would be getting run at most, different playbooks in it. And I think also as part of this conversation, if we are going to go to stocks, we probably have to also then probably alter what the play limits and cooldowns we're doing are. Because like one of the things you had to do, especially with that too, is on defense, you'd have to add formations just to have simple coverages, or else you'd be out of cover 2 man in like the second quarter. Or against some people who run heavy, you'd be out of base 3-4 or base 4-3 in the first quarter.
Mm-hmm.
You know? So I think there are then, as part of that, needs to be a conversation about that. I'm open to doing whatever with it. Like I said, I prefer custom just because that's how I like to do it, and it's more fun for me. But I get why it might be more fun to do the stocks and see what it rolls.
Nobody's trying to like handicap you, and I think that's what a lot of this weird debate, anger-fueled debate's coming from. Nobody's trying to handicap you. We're trying to add a little bit more depth and strategy with the stock playbooks, and I don't see a way to do as much of that with customs. That's as far as my opinion on it goes. And like I think all of us have said at this point, we don't really care. We'll do whatever. We know that there are going to be people in the league that cry and bitch about whichever decision is made. I mean, that's just with any rule change. Somebody's going to have an issue.
That's just
the hot route rule, which was one of the best rules implemented this cycle. There were people who had some major issues and people left because of it. And I'm like, that's so crazy to me.
if we try it, that's awesome. If we don't, customs are fine too. I mean, a lot of people, aside from like fucking Payne, are using customs right now. So it is what it is. But stocks would be really, really cool. And I don't know, man. Let's see what happens.
I think the league will be fine either way. You'll get diverse gameplay either way with the other complementary roles in place. I personally would say I think you have the maximum potential for diversity if people are kind of in their best attentions with customs, because you can have that play limit and then you can add these formations and plays that can help you switch things up so you're running different concepts, or even if they're the same ones, they're at least out of different formations. Mm-hmm. That's assuming it's out of good intentions and people really following the spirit of some of these rules, but I think it allows for the maximum potential for that.
Oh, and before I forget, almost forgot the huge announcement of the night. Ladies and gentlemen, there's no ladies in here. Gentlemen, we've got a giveaway going here. Not next week.
Forgot about that.
But the show after next week, we will be giving away a standard digital copy of Madden 22. So be tuned in next week. We're going to kind of go down a rabbit hole of talking about the rules of how you can enter, how you can win. But this is something we wanted to put together for our league. So keep your ears to the motherfucking turf, because we will be tweeting about this, and it will definitely be a part of next week's show. You already see the logo down here in the bottom left. I, of course, am talking about the Fearless Madden League. And I've been talking with Malibu a fair bit just about their league and what they've got going on. Got some really good stuff. They're sort of in that same period that us in MSR are at right now. He said at this point in the cycle, we're just getting new graphics ready, gearing up for our team draft. Their team draft will be on August 21st. You can find all of their information on Twitter as well. Brainstorming on new media and shows to bring to the league this cycle to create a better and realistic experience for our users and CFM fans. And FML is a part of the CFM network as well. So if you ever want to get networking with those guys, that's where you can find them, or just hit them up on Twitter. We got some new coaches who are super excited to join the FML family and ready to leave their mark in the league. Everyone is pumped for the new cycle as always. So expect big things from FML this cycle. Consistency is key. Everybody in MSR knows about that mantra. We're looking to bring a Fearless Fridays radio show to allow live call into chat with our listeners and coaches. Another show they're working on is called Chalk Talk with Malibu, where he's going to break down game film and the strengths and weaknesses of our hottest contenders into the playoffs. Expect exciting game day prime games live twice every Tuesday and Thursday. Hopefully, an official website is in the works, and they are discussing it with a web developer as well.